everyone, how's it going? I hope winter's treating you well out on the roads and you're keeping it upright. So following on from all that work I did on the bike recently, I replaced the fuel hoses, fuel filter, air filter, spark plugs, and I had the end can off. She wasn't running very well, and so I just went through a bunch of stuff, changing a few bits, hoping it wasn't the carbs or the valves. And that seemed to work. She's running a lot better. But during the process of taking the end can off, basically the baffle that was in there, the bolt holding it in sheared, so there was no way that was going to go back in. And I've been running it without the baffle in, which I know you're not really meant to do in terms of tuning and that sort of thing, but she's been running fine. In fact, she's been running better than she was before. Probably more to do with the other work I did than that. But she is using a lot more fuel. I normally get about 140-ish miles, depending on how I'm riding her, before I have to switch over to reserve. Yesterday I ran out of fuel at 110, so I switched over to reserve to get me to the station. So I know that if the baffle's out, it does affect air-fuel mix, and fuel consumption can go up and that sort of thing. Not obnoxiously loud. I mean, it was a fairly loud pipe before, but I do kind of feel that maybe I should put a baffle back in. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, I picked up a baffle off Amazon for just under a tenner. So I'm going to stick that in today and see what difference it makes. Yeah, so this is the baffle I picked up off Amazon. It's an angled one to fit the Delkovich. Just a case of measuring the diameter of your pipe there at the end, and the diameter you order fits that. I think this was 48 mil, and it literally just slides in like that. There's an Allen bolt that goes in there, and I'm just going to stick a washer on the end because the bolt that they sent is probably going to slip through there. So yeah, I'll stick a washer on and do a sound test. Actually, one thing, it's got this adjuster in the end of the baffle. It came with it in that position, and I'm going to keep it there because I think if it's all the way up, it's not going to be letting any airflow through the baffle, and of course it's plugged completely at that end. So my thinking is that with it in that position, you have still got some airflow coming in through these holes. It's not a complete plug in the can. This is my first interaction with baffles, so I don't really know. I'm pretty baffled. But yeah, let's try it there and see what it does. Okay, so the baffle's in. I didn't put the washer on in the end. It's just that really soft, horrible looking Allen bolt. So you'll see how that goes. Might need to bolt it in. Put some copperies on the thread just to try and help it a little bit, but that'll burn off. So tickover seems to be a bit lower. Is that normal? I suppose it is. Seems to be popping a bit more on the revving, but definitely quieter. Okay, so let's just go with that, and I'll report back in terms of performance and fuel consumption. Perhaps that was a cheap and easy fix, we'll see. Thanks for watching, bye bye.
Sorry, Explorer.